coming. My name is Patrick Day, and I serve as the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. It's a pleasure to have you here today. I appreciate everybody coming out on what is a beautiful day, but a slightly muggy day, but this is going to be a wonderful event. We'll have the ushers come around and hand out some fans in just a moment after the offering. That said, it's really a pleasure to be here today, and I'd like to welcome you all to the annual State of the University Address. As we move along, because we have a wonderful program planned, we're going to have the opportunity to be addressed by our Chancellor. I'd like to introduce John Saltmarsh, who is a professor in the Graduate College of Education, Graduate College of Education. Graduate College of College of Education and Human Development. It was wrong. Where's Carol? Carol, it was wrong on my form, I promise you. It's a pleasure to have John Saltmarsh here. He is also the director of the New England Resource Center for Higher Education, and Dr. Saltmarsh will be introducing our Chancellor. John?
Welcome, everyone. So I want to welcome you all to the Chancellor's annual State of the University Address, which is today focused on the core value of this university, community engagement. As Patrick said, I direct the New England Resource Center for Higher Education, or what is more fondly known as NERCHE on this campus and in New England and nationally. NERCHE has embodied the values of community engagement since its founding over 20 years ago. Its origins were influenced by the late Ernest Linton, who many on this campus still remember fondly. Each year, NERCHE conducts a national faculty award named after Ernest Linton, recognizing deep community engagement across the faculty roles of research, teaching, and service. Dr. Linton understood that universities such as UMass Boston are what he called the opposite of ivory towers. They are, he wrote, highly interactive with their surroundings. They are of their regions, not just in it. They maintain a close relationship with their communities, which, he says, consists of a two-way flow of ideas, experience, and information. And he noted that the flow of information from the outside in is as important as any transfer of knowledge from the inside out. Dr. Linton understood that the generation of socially responsive knowledge demands a university committed to engagement. As part of the College of Education and Human Development, NERCHE has a home and a college led by Dean Carol Kolbeck, who proudly has community engagement as a core value of its mission and practice. We value community engagement because it helps the college better fulfill its academic and civic missions. NERCHE is also closely associated with the Higher Education Doctoral Program in the Department of Leadership and Education, where community engagement in research and teaching and learning are valued and validated. A doctoral student graduating in June, Elaine Ward, who also teaches and provides staff support in the College of Public and Community Service, recently was recognized with the Outstanding Dissertation Award from the New England Educational Research Organization for her research on the topic of women's ways of engagement, an exploration of gender, the scholarship of engagement, and institutional rewards, policy, and practice. Engagement on this campus runs deep. Engagement is part of the soul of this university. Our commitment to community engagement has brought us recognition, such as the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching's Community Engagement Classification, as well as a place on the 2009 President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll, which is the highest federal recognition a university can receive for its commitment to civic engagement. Yet, community engagement, much like democracy, is a journey, not a destination. We have a deep and vibrant history of engagement, a strong and inspiring mission of engagement, and a dedicated community of faculty, staff, students, and community partners who strive every day to to fulfill the mission and purpose of this university. Our journey is not yet complete. There's much work to be done to authentically fulfill our mission of engagement. This university has the opportunity to distinguish itself as a model of excellence for engagement through the generation of new knowledge, through engaged pedagogical practices that validate the strengths and gifts of our students, and through civic learning inside and outside the classroom. We can seize this opportunity in part because we have a chancellor in this place at this time who is committed to the vision and reality of an engaged university. It's my privilege and honor to introduce my friend and colleague, our Chancellor, Dr. J. Keith Motley.
So I pulled you out of all that shell and got you out here today to do this. John, thank you. There's a serious echo, and I know it's because I probably wouldn't need a mic under most circumstances. But John, thank you so much. We've been colleagues and friends for over a couple decades, and I'm so grateful for you. I've been passed an announcement before I get into my speech. It says, and it's really about what we've all been going through today. I see how you look out there. It's going to be a double handkerchief day for me up here during my speech. And I know I've had people walking up to me talking about how warm it is and all those kinds of things, but you know, we've all heard the news reports about over the weekend regarding the broken water main, which has impacted drinking water and also around Boston, and it's also included our university. I want to assure everyone here that our campus safety team have been hard at work. I know they've been at work because I've been with them ever since the main broke. We've been in communication, and they've been here on this campus making sure that campus is open, and they were here all weekend. Let's give them a round of applause. Let me tell you what you already know. The water fountains have been turned off. Signs have been posted. Do not drink the water. Twitter and Facebook alerts have been made throughout, so if there's anyone that you know that's that doesn't know that when you walk into the bathroom, you wash your hands, then you use some Purell afterwards, and for those of you who are like me, you throw some lotion on. Get those hands nice and fresh and clean after that, and then lotion up so that Arthur doesn't visit you, and then you're on with your day. We've been working with the students to make sure that the food we eat here in Sodexo, to make sure that the food we eat on campus is safe, and I want to thank Sodexo. You know, we get on Sodexo a little bit every now and then, but I'm going to tell you, all weekend they have been here, they have been preparing, and I think they deserve a round of applause. They made sure that all the food that you will eat is going to be safe. We had a gala Saturday night, and we did not miss a beat. We raised the money that we needed to raise because they made sure that the water was pure, that we did not drink coffee and tea. Now, some of my friends out there, as soon as I say coffee, you start thinking about it, you get headaches and all that. All you coffee drinkers, we're sorry. I hope that you had colleagues like the ones I know who brought in coffee from those towns where the water was cool. But I apologize to all you coffee and tea drinkers for what's happening. If you have specific questions regarding the university's response to this concern, you should direct your questions to customer service. Call customer service. Please know that campus safety is a campus priority. And I want to thank everyone who worked here all weekend. You worked so hard behind the scenes, and I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so grateful that all of you showed up today for this conversation about where we are as a university. Good afternoon. And thank you all for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedules to pause and reflect with me on our university, on our great and our ambitious enterprise, and on this adventure that you and I have set out on together, the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Ours has been a journey of sometimes difficult, uneven, and steep terrain. It has wandered through cavernous valleys that seem as though they might never end. It has taken us over some of the highest peaks of accomplishment in our history. It has demanded more of us than at times we knew we had. And it has brought us to this moment of transition, full with the expansive pride of achievement, along with the anxious yearning of anticipation. As we watch this recession ever so slowly release its grip on our economy, the University of Massachusetts Boston is beginning to feel the effects of our very thoughtful approach and of our refusal to retreat in the panic in the face of economic turmoil and all of the forecasts of doom. We are emerging stronger, more directed as a university. Now, that is not to say that we are by any means out of the woods. A great deal of uncertainty remains around the budget and funding for higher education. We are watching that process closely, but I need this community to watch that process closely. But our past experience has taught that it is best to continue on our course, gathering as much data as possible before making any final decisions. We do this while continuing our commitment to pursue decisions that will have the least impact on our academic core and that help us advance our strategic priorities. This year, we are closing out the strategic plan of 2007, celebrating objectives achieved while also making refinements to our approach and methods for the future based on this experience. I am so grateful for the very fine work of our colleagues throughout this university, all of our staff, union leadership, faculty council leadership, our student leadership, chairs, deans, vice chancellors, and also the provost's office and chancellor's office staffs, and all of you who have played indispensable roles in moving the university toward the achievement of our objectives. Thank you. We celebrate impactful movement against our strategic priorities. I want to thank Peter Langer and Christy Ulster for pushing all of us. At times they needed to push us, at times we pushed back, but thank you because we're here because of that effort. Guided by this effort, we have set out to increase student access, engagement, and success. We have indeed grown our enrollment to the 15,000 students that we sought thanks to the tremendous work of Vice Chancellor Kathy Tien and her team at the Division of Enrollment Management, and all of you, because we all play or should play. If you're not playing, you should play a role in growing this university. Yes, clap your hands, that's right. We all play a role in that. New academic programs have been initiated or are in the development, such as Asian Studies, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Early Education and Care in Inclusive Settings, a History Master's Program in Public History, Science in a Changing World in a Critical and Creative Thinking Program, and Population Health and Health Policy in the Nursing PhD Program, Brain and Developmental Sciences. There are also a number of new graduate and doctoral programs in the pipeline as well. To support the internationalization, the Office of International and Transitional Affairs, headed by Associate Vice Provost In-Suk Yoon, was opened. New centers for research have been established. The Center on Gender Security and Human Rights, the Center for Developmental Sciences, and the Collaborative Center on Oceans, Climate, and Security. Most recently, the Faculty Council of the University of Massachusetts Boston voted to approve the establishment of its 8th college, our 8th college, the University College, which is a creative re-envisioning of the division of corporate, continuing, and distance education. The proposal will be under consideration by the trustees of this university very soon. Also, I am very, very, very pleased to announce that after the hard work associated with analysis, reorganization, and so on and so forth, the College of Public and Community Service will reopen admissions in the fall as an upper division college of the University of Massachusetts, Boston. With the tremendous history and tradition that the College of Public and Community Service has in our community, we're anxious to see the college and its alumni achieve great success out into our future. During the Student Senate campaigns this spring, I walked around this campus thinking that candidates were running for city, state, federal offices or something. I didn't know who had invaded our campus. I saw intense, proactive, and creative strategies at work to be elected. The results of this work was a 4-fold increase in undergraduate participation. I know I told you I was going to say it increased 8 times, but it increased 4 times, and that's the truth. And we're so grateful for that. Seeing students participate, fantastic. The election of this year's Student Senate and student trustees generated that kind of concern. So congratulations to you, President Neil McInnes Barker. We look forward to working with you in the months to come. And I see you got your front seat ready, willing to participate. We're grateful for that. I also want to congratulate our new student trustee. We look forward to having your voice on the board, Stasha Lambert, and I also look forward to working with you in the months ahead. Thank you also to our current student trustee, Tara DeSisto. She's still here. Thank you for your service and your continuing service. Speaking of the students, last month, I had the privilege of attending a distinguished alumni dinner sponsored by the Student Senate, where the students were able to make important connections with alumni of the university, as well as honoring Mayor Tom Menino, one of our alums of the College of Public and Community Service. Our thanks to student leaders John Ward and Donna Copa, and to our staff, Joe DiMaderos, Casey Gavin, and Gina Capello from the University Advancement, as well as folks from Student Affairs, for all of your efforts to host a wonderful event. It was second to none. Secondly, we sought to, in our last strategic plan, to attract, develop, and sustain highly effective faculty. Under the steady leadership of Provost Winston Langley and the deans of our colleges, Donna Keisinger, Greer Glazier, Andrew Gazowski, Carol Colbeck, Cuff Ferguson, Dennis Maxey, Joan Lean, this university was able to make solid progress against this goal. Despite setbacks caused by this recession and this economy, we made a strategic commitment to the renewal of the university faculty, bringing 106 new professors to our ranks over the 3 years covered by this strategic plan. We made important investments in the construction of a model for faculty development. To further substantiate our commitment to faculty, the position of Associate Provost for Faculty Affairs has been created. Third, we plan to create a physical environment second to none that supports teaching, learning, and research. We want to thank Vice Chancellor Ellen O'Connor and her team and the Master Planning Task Force and all those committees and all of you who vision this new university with us. We have invested in a significant upgrade to our smart classroom technology around the campus to enhance teaching and learning. In addition to the classrooms, we've also made significant investments in student spaces where you can congregate, study, and just talk on campus if that's what you want to do. Underutilized spaces in the Healy Library have been changed to accommodate networking and studying, including 50 spaces to accommodate laptops and addition of tables with outlets and group study rooms. Lifeless spaces scattered throughout our campus buildings are being renovated to become engaging venues for encouraging the kind of chance encounters that promote our mission. The Student Athlete Study Hall, there are many of them here today, is one of the best kept secrets on this campus. Go see it. It's in the Clark Center. It's a room. I hear you over there laughing, Charlie. I'm telling them all about it. Unbelievable room. If you haven't been there, check it out. Computers, study space, air conditioning. We all might try to go over there now. It's where that where the dance room was, part of that has been renovated. Check it out. And in a short time, I hope that everybody in this room has mud on your shoes and you're holding your ears from the noise as we build the University of Massachusetts, Boston that we aspire to for the future. I want you to be muddy and have an earache, because that means we're building for our future. Lastly, we are working to enhance campus community engagement through improved operational structures. We offer our thanks to John Ciccarelli and the crew in government relations and public affairs. Charlie Titus and all of them should be commended as well. John Saltmarsh, who was standing up here. Campus community engagement is certainly on the rise, and we have been meeting on a monthly basis with leadership of different Boston communities. We have met with so many people from the neighborhoods, they think that we're trying to run for office or something. Every neighborhood in this city has been here, spawning initiatives and also partnerships to make our communities better. I know Joan is out there. I saw her waving. I know we've been doing this a long time together, and so here we are. We are forging relationships with chambers of commerce from greater Boston communities who want to know what's happening on this peninsula, but we're also finding that our alumni, and we're letting them know that these alumni, they live, they work, and they're making a significant impact on the culture of the communities where these chambers are. We are connecting regularly with business leadership in this city. Leadership at all levels of representation from government and community-based organizations. The Division of Government Relations and Community Affairs is also engaged in the search for a director for the new Office of Community Partnerships. We celebrate what we have accomplished against the former strategic plan, because through it, the university is transforming itself and has become a student-centered, urban, public research university of choice. Yet, even as we celebrate these accomplishments, groups of your colleagues in the faculty, administration, and students are now engaged in the process of mapping out our future direction for our university. I have charged the 2010 Strategic Planning Task Force with stepping back from their day-to-day hustle to take stock of the realities of our new context. Look out into our future and plot the course for the University of Massachusetts, Boston for the next 5 years. This is a broadly inclusive process that will be seeking participation from all sectors of the university community. I am enlisting your best efforts to look out over the next 5 years of our institutional life and to create a set of recommendations that will result in inclusive excellence, strengthening the effectiveness, reach, and stature of the University of Massachusetts, Boston. As a public university, we have a responsibility to pursue and achieve the gold standard in effectiveness. Whether this is expressed in retention, whether it's expressed in graduation rates, budget processes, how we treat and value each other here on campus, quality of life for students and employees of the university, or other notable categories of performance. I am looking for strategies and actions for raising the level of the work that we do as an institution of higher education. As part of that exercise, recently the task force underwent a process led by Dean Steve Crosby for formulating a vision of the university for 2025 and backing into the strategic goals that will provide a strong foundation for long-term vision. Thank you, Dean Crosby, wherever you are, for your vision and your foresight in this regard. Where are you, Steve? Well, wherever you are, I know you're working. I'm thankful that we have this type of visionary leadership in and out around our university community, that we can assemble for this purpose, and it helps me to understand why so many of our external stakeholders turn to us for our external communities for leadership. I also want to thank Provost Langley for providing such needed leadership over this process that will direct us as a university into the future we envision. So in the fall, I shared some observations around our urban mission, its complexity and its focus. I indicated then that this mission, this calling from the community that brought the University of Massachusetts Boston into being, sustains an imperative to help deal on local, national, and international levels with social disparities, exclusion, marginalization, and their consequences. It must also address issues of sustainability on many levels, from ecological integrity to economic viability and social responsibility. Furthermore, as more and more lives throughout the world are increasingly defined by the urban, our university must play a key role in understanding and helping to shape institutions and practices across the spectrum of human activity. In this light, the designation of our university by the Carnegie Foundation as an engaged university makes sense. We are an engaged university. While preparing for our panel, Connecting with the New Economy, we received word that the university has been selected for inclusion in the Princeton Review's Guide to 286 Green Colleges. Yeah, give it a round of applause. There are a whole lot of colleges, and we are among those 286 chosen. We are an engaged university. Last week we held a forum for our Seeds Week in the Ballroom entitled The Engaged University, during which Charlotte Kahn of the Boston Foundation shared her findings published in their biennial publication, the Boston Indicators Report, a report whose research the University of Massachusetts Boston played a role in. Along with Charlotte's insightful report, the forum highlighted the work of university faculty, students, and staff around these issues that have been identified as being so critical to the health of the city. I could not be more pleased than to see the sharp, insightful research of our scholars at work, not just in the community, but with the community, seeking to solve problems and bring about real transformation for people's lives. In a very real sense, this is what the University of Massachusetts Boston is. We are an engaged university. Just a few moments later, I moved just one section over in the ballroom to participate in the kickoff of the Campus Kitchens. That Campus Kitchens project is here at the university, the first campus in the state to house this national effort to reduce hunger. One of our students, Juliet Royce, stand up, Juliet. She spoke wonderfully at the opening event. This is student-centered outreach at its best. Students plan the menus, students get the food, they run the cooking shifts, so if you want to work for them, they might put you on one of those terrible shifts. They also organize the drivers, right? You also teach culinary skills to unemployed adults. Then they keep track of all the paperwork, organize fundraisers, develop curriculum, and recruit new students to get involved. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. Imagine developing organizational and administrative skills while helping to address the deepening concern in our community and our nation with food insecurity. We're doing that right here. Thanks to Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Patrick Day, Sherrod Williams, who's sitting up here, the Director of Office of Student Leadership and Community Engagement. We got Chelsea Goulart, and also Campus Kitchens Coordinator. To all of those students who've done this, thank you so very much for shepherding this wonderful initiative in our midst. We are engaged. When the Fulbright program brought their conference to Boston last month, they wanted to address the subject, the universities as agents of social change. They knew where to come. They chose this campus as the logical place to open the conference. They were also aware of all the extraordinary ways that faculty, students, and staff from this campus are utilizing the rubrics of higher education and research to engage various sectors of community on various levels toward the end of more healthy, better education, and just as importantly, a sustainable world. This is what the University of Massachusetts Boston is. We are not an institution that exists only for its own purposes and in pursuit of aims created in a vacuum of economic or intellectual interest. Our historical pedigree, grounded as it is in land-grant college movement and the education for service model of Boston State, means that our institutional DNA tells us that we were never meant to be an end unto ourselves. We have always been, and I believe it's my duty to make sure that we always will be a partner in building this neighborhood, this city, this state, this nation, and this world. I have formed a task force on community engagement that has made some very powerful recommendations as it relates to prompting the University of Massachusetts Boston to sustain community engagement as a core institutional priority. They have recommended the full involvement of the administration, academic leadership, and student affairs in the advancement of community engagement as a central part of the learning experience of students, as well as the exploration and generation of new knowledge out of the interchange between scholars and practitioners. I know there are many of you that are already doing this, and you're saying, Chancellor, why are you talking about this? We're already out in the neighborhoods doing this kind of work. We're working with people in and around our multi-tiered border, and also you should be aware that we've been laying the groundwork, Chancellor. The infrastructure, we've been doing that. But I understand that that infrastructure is critical for the pathway that we are trying to do. Things like Teach Next Year project in greater Boston communities. I know we're doing it. The Success Boston Task Force. I'm serving there for the mayor as co-chair and working with the city and several of our fellow colleges and universities of greater Boston to improve the level of success on the collegiate level for Boston public school graduates. I know we're doing that. I want to thank our Vice Provost, Joan Becker, who has concentrated. Joan has been on this pre-collegiate thing for a long time. She has been a tremendous support to me on this venture, and I'm so grateful. Jumpstart. I know we're presently involved. We have 60 persons from the university engaged at 4 sites in Dorchester and Mattapan, laying the groundwork for literacy at the critical, important preschool age. And now, I walk by Go Kids and Go in there most days. Go Kids is a collaborative effort by the College of Nursing and Health Sciences and Children's Hospital of Boston, dedicated to improving the health, wellness, and overall outlook for adolescents, preteens, and teens. And of course, our partnership with Dana-Farber Cancer Center is hard at work addressing health disparities in minority populations and improving research, training, and outreach opportunities for minority students, nurses, and scientists. And there are many more of you, I know, that I don't have the time to mention here, but I know you're doing this. But in our loyalty to our urban mission, we have to build on these good works, build on our heritage of engagement and partnership, and use the opportunities that have been presented to us to build a pathway to excellence on which our students and faculty will find powerful learning and research opportunities on which residents of this peninsula are able to experience an enhanced quality of life, and on which our world can more easily access the deep and rich intellectual resources of this university for addressing real-world issues. The purchase of the Bayside Expo property presents to this university an important opportunity to put into action these core principles related to community engagement. Here is an opportunity to really engage with people from all segments of the community to think about how that property can be used to benefit the community, the city, and most importantly, the work of this university. It presents to us a moment in which the physical boundaries of the campus need not confine our thinking or acting in this regard. And so this is a time for our university to think deeply about the needs of our students, for transformative experiences, and about the needs of our faculty in their pursuit of new knowledge, about the needs of those with whom we share space in this community and are always asked to participate with. We also, it gives us a chance to have frequent contact as we struggle to build a safe, just, and sustainable world for all of our children. My colleagues, it is fairly evident that our purchase of the Bayside property caught many in our external community by surprise. Some are still surprised. They're messed up. They are surprised that we would deign, how dare them, have the goal to move forward ourselves on such an ambitious project and not wait for someone else to do it for us. That's okay. However, this should be an indicator to you that this is a new phase in the history of the university and a new approach to getting things done. We think and we act collaboratively because ultimately it is the right thing to do, and because it's a part of who we are, not because we are afraid or unable to do this as an institution. We can act boldly on our own. The University of Massachusetts Boston is a full-grown institution of higher education in the nation, and maybe even the world. And it's taken some time for some entities in the city to fully appreciate that reality. However, some of the unavoidable fallout from the purchase is that some people are a bit nervous about our intentions. I have, however, remained consistent with my message. Everywhere I go, same message, that we are insistent about a wide and inclusive process of gathering input from stakeholders in this community. I'm aware that there were plans in place to bring commercial development and retail to this area. Our goal is to lead and work with the external community to make this peninsula a destination point for citizens and visitors to Boston, as well as a point of high service to residents and workers, not the least of which are our students and our employees. I want to reiterate my unswerving commitment to this inclusive approach to envisioning the use of that acreage, and the fact that this is an opportunity for campus and community to get it right. We will work with these stakeholders to surface the interests, fears, and their concerns around the development of the property and garner input on its future use. This is to be an endeavor in which we think together, do analysis together, and envision together to the end that our university, our community, our city, and beyond are enriched by engagement. In sum, I am asking you, I am asking this community, I am asking that community to join the University of Massachusetts Boston in constructing a pathway to excellence. From the moment I first came to this campus from Huntington Avenue in 2003, I was amazed by the opportunity that presents itself on this peninsula. I would walk up and down Mount Vernon Street from Bayside Expo onto this campus and marvel at the vast array of community assets that line this corridor. From the Bayside Expo to St. Christopher's, to the Early Learning Center, to the Deaver Elementary School, the McCormick Middle School, BC High School, Geiger Gibson Community Health Center, the Harbor Point Housing Complex, later came the Peninsula Apartment Complex, and the Massachusetts State Archives, our presidential library right here on our campus, all of this leading up to a world-class public research university connected to the community, while simultaneously looking out over the Atlantic to the world. I was struck by the boundless possibilities for health, for education, for cultural enrichment, development, and civic participation that can be generated for this community through these connections. These connected institutions. From that time to this very moment, my imagination and ambition have been captivated by this vision of a pathway to excellence. This entrance to this university can be a brilliant model of engaged scholarship, beckoning both academic and civic communities to our doorstep for research, learning, and partnership. In so many ways, we as an institution are positioned to lead. Lead in relevant research for faculty, lead in impactful learning experiences for students, lead in ongoing deep relational connections with the community we serve, communities that urgently need committed partners. I have had many opportunities to view the University of Massachusetts Boston from the vantage point of many windows. I've seen it from the JFK Library. I've seen it from Harbor Point windows. I've seen it from the windows at Corcoran Jennison. Yes, I've even seen it from Bayside Expo. But just last month, I got to see the university from another window when I visited the Deaver Elementary School right down here on Mount Vernon. It was supposed to be a 1-hour meeting with graduating class, the 5th grade. 2 hours later, you know how I am, I was still visiting classrooms. I was sitting on the floor with the kindergartners. Then, if you haven't noticed this swell frame of your boys, I fit my swell frame into the 1st grade chairs, sized up with the teacher, exchanging math, equations, and scientific information with 4th graders as well. In one of the rooms, I saw the university from one of the windows and realized just how close these two institutions are. As we go about our work for this university, which was chartered to provide a world-class education to those who might not otherwise have access, right down Mount Vernon Street are gathered some of the most beautiful children in this city, within eyeshot of this university. We are close enough to see each other out of our windows every day. They look right into the Chancellor's office. The question that haunts me is, will these young people be able to successfully and safely navigate the pathway to this campus, or will it be simply a place that they see but never truly experience? Are we laying a pathway for children, a pathway for healthy babies, a pathway for youth, a pathway for adults, a pathway for parents, a pathway for our seniors? Will this be a pathway for families to travel safely and successfully to excellence, excellence in health, education, finance, culture, and character? As I scan the expanse of this seaside artery to our campus, I am inspired by the possibilities. While the exciting prospects of the Bayside property and other institutions along Mount Vernon Street have catalyzed my imagination and continue to inspire my vision today, they are not the boundary and definition of our outreach and or our engagement. The Mount Vernon Street Strip provides a great context for thinking about our pathway to excellence, but that route must continue to connect us to broader arteries of community engagement in our city, region, state, nation, and world. As the global community continues to coalesce around rapidly developing communication advancements, our local concerns have worldwide connections, causes, and implications. By necessity, the pathway to excellence must remain broad and far-reaching, ever a part of the interconnected structure of all reality. We now, more than ever, must uphold our urban mission, with a global perspective. This university has a unique opportunity at a critical time in the history of this city to have a profound impact on the lives of people in this community for generations to come. In so doing, our research becomes deeper and even more relevant, student learning more connected to the world in which they live and work, in our activity as a university more aligned with the core values out of which it was formed. In the brilliance of this shiny atrium that serves as the entrance to a building that helps transform the everyday culture of this campus, I want to enlist you in this grand opportunity for ongoing transformation that will reach beyond the formal limits of our property. To accomplish this, I need you to bring your best. I need your best efforts. I need your best thinking, your best energy, your best talent, your best passion. I need the best of who you are as students, faculty, and as staff. The demands of these our multi-bordered communities are great. They will demand the best of who we are. So I'm enlisting your help to clear the pathway to excellence. I'm encouraging your help to erect a quality educational experience for all of our children. I'm calling for your help to construct an infrastructure for health and wellness that will eliminate disparities in care and outcome. I'm requesting your help to build bridges between businesses and marginalized communities that will support sustainable development and transformation. I need your help to restructure policy to accommodate a green economy, sustainable development, and help bequeath our children's a safe and healthy environment. I need your help to construct what must be built all along the pathway to excellence. And when we all help, and when we all put forth the best of who we are, then we will all have a stake in this noble venture, this splendid enterprise that continues to be the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Thank you all for all that you do. I am so honored and proud to be your Chancellor.